Hey everyone, Jeremy Morris here. Just gonna wait a minute for people to get onto the live. Okay, so let's get started. So thank you to everyone that was able to join the live today. My name is Jeremy Morris. I'm a software engineer at DigitalOcean, and today I'll be sharing some key tips on how you can become a Kubernetes contributor. In the coming weeks, I'm going to be putting on a more in-depth talk around this. You can register for that talk by clicking on the link in the description below. And DigitalOcean also has a really nice playlist filled with other Kubernetes-related tutorials, so make sure to check those out. That's also in the description as well. So today I'm going to highlight a few tips that you can use to start your Kubernetes contributor journey. So one tip is to participate in the Kubernetes Release Shadow program. Recently, I participated as a shadow for the Kubernetes 1.20 release, and personally, I highly recommend this for any new contributors or existing contributors. And kind of think of it as some type of apprenticeship, which allows you to get more involved with the Kubernetes code base and the release process. And this is particularly important for people who are new, because a lot of the time, that's how you'll find new work, is by interacting with other Kubernetes contributors. So the way the shadowing process is set up is that you apply for a particular subteam. These subteams are CI signal, bug triage, docs, communications, and enhancements. I participated on the enhancements team, where my main responsibility was to help review and track incoming Kubernetes enhancements and the enhancements in progress. So these are essentially new features that are being proposed to be introduced into Kubernetes, or other cases could be just improve existing systems. This gave me the opportunity to network with a lot of Kubernetes contributors, and also gave me a lot of insight into what people are currently working on in the Kubernetes community. Another useful tip to keep in mind is to be active in the Kubernetes Slack channel. A lot of the work that I've come across or had the opportunity to take on came from communicating with other contributors. If you make it known that you want to contribute, the work will come. This includes commenting on existing GitHub issues and reviewing existing GitHub PRs. And last but not least, a good tip is to actually use Kubernetes. And when you encounter bugs or issues, communicate those issues to the people in the community. For example, if you encounter a bug, go into GitHub and file an issue for it. Chances are this will lead to good conversation. Maybe you discovered something that was new and no one else had discovered that bug previously, or maybe this is a chance for you to learn more about Kubernetes and get a solve for your particular problem. Either way, communication and collaboration is key to contributing to Kubernetes, and all these tips are opportunities for you to get more involved and make those opportunities available to you. So, with that being said, I'm going to have a more in-depth talk December 15th. I believe that's next Tuesday. And, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them right now. And don't be scared. I'm ready to answer anything. I'm going to wait a minute or so for some questions to come in. Hey, I started out new too. Essentially, everyone that starts Kubernetes is a newbie, so it's okay. Last call for questions. Oh, okay. So sorry if I get this name wrong, but Rogerio, he asked, how experienced was I with Go at the time? So when I first started contributing to Kubernetes, was at my previous job, and I was mostly using Python. So I had really no Go experience. And I kind of used this, that initial PR, that opportunity, contributing to Kubernetes as a way for me to learn Go. Um, I kind of like learning things the hard way and putting myself in those type of situations where I'm forced to really learn and understand something. And that's kind of how I use Kubernetes. It was like a way to learn Go a bit better. Um, Samantha asked, what motivated you to make the time to contribute to Kubernetes? Again, I started getting interested in distributed systems, and I felt like Kubernetes was um, pretty interesting and popular at the time. This was like around 2016, and I want to learn more about it. So I tried to like put myself into the community, and one of those ways was to start contributing. Santiago asks, Kubernetes is a DigitalOcean's future, right? Yeah, actually, I work on the DigitalOcean Kubernetes team, or it's called the containers team, but we work on DOKS, which is DigitalOcean's managed Kubernetes. So yes, it's a product that DigitalOcean offers. Any more questions? These are really good questions, by the way. Thank you. Okay, Samantha asks, anything you'd recommend we do before joining your talk next week? Yeah, so some things I would recommend doing is, just looking through the Kubernetes code base in GitHub, check out like existing first issues, prepare some questions, read some of the contributor docs. There's some documentation on how you can start contributing. And anything that you're confused about or have questions about, write those questions down and bring them to the webinar, and then you can ask them once I finish the talk. Dimitri asks, what is the best way to join DigitalOcean? I think one of the best ways is to get referred. That's how I got in. I get to started on that interview process. I think a few other good ways are to, participate in, things like these webinars and other virtual events. I would say go to the office if you can, but if you're not near New York and currently we have the pandemic, you can't really do that. But, participating in virtual events, talking to people like me, making yourself known, and, also contributing to existing open source projects that DigitalOcean has. That's a way to get another engineer's eye. So, basically like networking with existing engineers. I think that's a good way to go about it, and then finding a way to get a referral by them. And like I said, the best way is really just, working with them. I don't think it's a great idea to just ask for referrals randomly. I think it's better to ask for one once you've actually worked with the person. So working on open source might be one of the best ways to do that. And thanks for the question, Dimitri. Any more questions? Maybe we'll wait about a minute for any more questions. No problem, Dimitri. I'm glad to help. Okay, so it looks like the questions have died down. Thank you everyone for joining today. Make sure to register for the upcoming talk. That link should be in the description. Remember, there's also tons of other Kubernetes related videos from industry experts from DigitalOcean in the DigitalOcean YouTube channel, which should also be linked in the description. Be sure to subscribe to DigitalOcean YouTube, and that way you'll be up to date on all our upcoming webinars. Thanks, everyone.